Good morning, welcome to NYNJPA Weather. I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino, and boy, do we have a lot to talk about. We've had a very active winter pattern over the past few days, and it's about to get a lot more active. So let's take a look at the forecast. Currently, high pressure is in place throughout the entire northern mid-Atlantic. The low pressure system that produced moderate to, at times, heavy snow over the New Jersey coast and parts of eastern Long Island on Saturday night into Sunday has exploded over the Canadian Maritimes. This is important, and I'll show you why in just a moment. Meanwhile, we have two areas of low pressure developing, one that's over the plains and the other one is over the Gulf of Mexico. These two low pressure systems are going to have a major impact on our locations over the next 48 to 66 hours. Basically, get ready for a major winter storm. Let's take a look at the water vapor satellite picture. Well, we have two disturbances. I have one circled along the southeast coast and the other one that is over the central plains. These disturbances are going to be able to phase and interact and form a very powerful winter storm along the east coast. The reason why is because of the upper level low that has developed over the Canadian Maritimes. When that low pressure system on Sunday exploded in the Gulf of Maine, it pretty much sealed the fate for the northern Mid-Atlantic for the threat for a major snowfall. And the reason why is because that upper level low slows down the entire pattern. As a result, these two disturbances that are over the United States are able to interact and eventually phase. And when they do, it will produce a powerful winter storm. Right now, there's an area of low pressure that is around the Florida Panhandle. That low pressure will move up towards the North Carolina coast by tonight. And then tomorrow will slowly move up towards New Jersey and the Long Island coastal waters. When this low pressure system gets to the southeast of New Jersey, roughly on Tuesday night, let's say around 10 to 11 p.m., the low pressure system will explode because at that time, disturbance number 2 begins to phase with disturbance number 1. And when that happens, heavy snow will break out. Now let's take a look at 850 millibars because I have something interesting to show you. This is 850 millibars on the new NAM model guidance on about 1 a.m. Wednesday. Now I'm using the NAM because it's the most recent model guidance out there. I'm not taking this verbatim, but basically this position of the 850 millibar low is pretty much the same as all the other model guidance. Now all the other model guidance are producing various different locations of where the heaviest QPF or liquid precipitation amounts are located. The reason why is because all of these models are having a very difficult time handling the convective nature of this storm, which is snow bands and thunder snow and deformation zones, mesoscale features that usually synoptic models do not have a very good handle on. But we can take some basic rules and kind of get an idea of where the heaviest snow should fall. And basically, to the northwest of a developing 850 and 700 millibar low, which this is 850 millibars, you usually find your heaviest bands of snowfall. Usually those heavy bands set up between the isotherms of minus 3 degrees Celsius and minus 6 degrees Celsius at 850 millibars. And where is that located? Basically central New Jersey, running through the New York City metropolitan area and parts of Connecticut. Now, Philadelphia is also located in this area. However, the storm really intensifies after it passes to the east of Philadelphia. The Philadelphia metro will start getting into the heavy snow, but they won't see the brunt of the heavy snow as the storm really matures. So you'll basically get the developmental phase of the banding snowfall, and then the maturity of that banding snowfall will be felt to the northeast of you. Let's take a look at the snowfall map. So this is the forecast. Now for the immediate coast, specifically for eastern Long Island and the New Jersey coast, notice that there are lighter amounts. I'm expecting some mixing of snow, sleet, and rain at times on Tuesday night, which will hold down the accumulations a bit, anywhere between 6 to 12 inches. If the mixing is less, you're going to see more, roughly around 12 inches of snow. And if the mixing stays around, you'll see more closer to 6 inches. As you move towards southern New Jersey, again, because the storm hasn't reached full maturity, I'm looking anywhere from 5 to 10 inches. Now in that 10 to 14 inch plus area, that's where the storm gets very interesting. I'm expecting all snow in these locations, and this is where I think that the message scale banding will mature and really have an impact on snowfall totals. I'm looking at a base of at least 10 inches in this area. However, the snowfall bands are going to have a very dynamic influence on who gets the heaviest snowfall. I think the maximum amount of snowfall you can see out of this storm, given the time and the amount of moisture given for this storm, is about 20 inches. And that's going to be isolated. It's going to be very isolated, but I think that's the max you'll see from this storm. Usually most locations will range anywhere from 10 to 14 inches in the New York City metropolitan area. And also at the height of this storm, you could see blizzard conditions with near zero visibility as the winds really increase anywhere from 15 to 30 miles per hour. A little bit further to the west and the southwest, again, because the storm has not fully matured and also the best dynamics are a little bit further to your east, I'm looking anywhere from 6 to 12 inches. I think 12 inches is the max for Philadelphia and for much of northwestern New Jersey. It is true that the snowfall ratios are going to be higher, but the amount of moisture thrown back into these locations will also be less. So that's why you're in the 6 to 12 inch range. And the same also falls for eastern Pennsylvania, where I have 4 to 8 inches over the immediate eastern portions of Pennsylvania, especially along the Delaware River, and 2 to 4 inches as you move further west towards central Pennsylvania, especially towards Harrisburg and to the west of Scranton, Pennsylvania. These locations, again, they're going to have higher snowfall ratios, but the problem is that there won't be as much moisture. So looking anywhere from 2 to 4 inches in those locations and 4 to 8 as you move closer towards the Delaware River. So this storm is looking rather dynamic, and I would not rule out some thunder snow also with this storm. After it exits, well, it gets very cold. Temperatures are going to be struggling around 30 degrees. Lows are going to be in the teens and 20s. The snow is not going anywhere anytime soon. And by the way, there's more threats for storms later on, possibly next week. So we're clearly in a very active winter pattern. Any idea of any type of thaw that some might suggest for January and February is not going to happen. You heard it here first. Actually, you heard it here first back in October. And I'm telling you again, winter is not ending anytime soon. For more coverage on the storm, visit NYNJPA Weather. I will be doing a live radio show for the Tri-State Weather Forum at 9:30 tonight, and also live coverage of this storm throughout the storm on Tuesday night through Wednesday morning. I'm meteorologist Stephen DiMartino. Have an excellent day.